part two. Welcome back. Now the questions I've been asked to address. I want to welcome everybody back if that wasn't recorded there quickly. I apologize. Adherence of my medications. Have I? I have. 100%. I've missed, I think, one dose since my cardiac event, and I just simply forgot and was overwhelmed and busy, which is no excuse. So let's talk 5 to stay alive. I'm not sure if anyone in this crowd has experienced what those 5 medications do to one's level of breathing at times, coughing, exhaustion levels, aches at times, and the structure of life that is necessary to successfully adhere to a schedule of those types of medications. My family doctor, who also suffered a massive heart attack, told me straight out, if I do not comply with the schedule of medications, my mortality rate would definitely increase to 70% or greater within 2 to 6 months. The blood thinners alone could cause complications within days or hours if not taken appropriately. I've experienced a whooping cough-like reaction to my first ACE inhibitor drug called perindopril. I was then flipped over to candesartan, which seems to help a lot. However, it took at least a couple weeks even after I stopped the perindopril. I have had significant decreases in my medications, which I should mention, with some, I think, lifestyle changes, I believe, and some close monitoring, so I do feel fortunate. My blood thinners went from 90 milligrams to 60 milligrams about 9 months ago. I'm set to be off blood thinners in November. I've been cleared to have shoulder surgery. I'm fit for surgery, which is a great thing for me, I think. Maybe having a replacement or possibly cleaning up some scar tissue and extending the life of my left shoulder. So I have to be off of those blood thinners before they'll go in and help me out. I have to be honest. I am excited to be off of blood thinners for a few reasons. The nosebleeds I've coped with have been immense at times. The bruising is the most unbelievable thing I have, I think, ever experienced. Not for the life of me would have I bruised prior to being on blood thinners. However, now I seem to be just covered in them daily, weekly, and I think it's just from an active lifestyle. I believe slight breathing complications and shortness of breath and some exhaustion also play a part. That's just possibly my experience with the blood thinners. Moving on to my statin. My statin was decreased from 40 milligrams of rosuvastatin or Crestor to 20 milligrams a few months ago. I think that helped a little bit in terms of my exhaustion levels and aches and pains as well. I want to genuinely share with you that I juice every day. I use celery, apples, ginger, and apple cider vinegar. I rarely miss a day. I eat a full salad after I break my daily fast, and I rarely eat before 2 or 2:30 every day. I always try to do a mini fast and purposefully not eat until mid-afternoon. And I feel it does give me immense energy and helps me throughout the day. I have greatly decreased my intake of processed foods and meat in general. I want to, and now here comes the sincere part, and I don't want to worry anybody or offend anyone. I want to sincerely, very, very significantly monitor my lipid panel and closely try a combination of almonds and red rice yeast to control my bad cholesterol or harmful cholesterol. And trust me, if that makes you sort of laugh or shake your head at me, I promise I won't mess around with those levels. If my cholesterol does spike, I'll do significant blood work and a regular schedule. It just is worth a try, in my opinion. So I'm going to give that a go and see how it goes in the next few months. Aspirin, I'll probably adhere to for life. That'll probably be a life drug for me. The next time I see my cardiologist, of course, I'd like a full-scale test if it can be determined of my progress or regression of blockages of my arteries. Something I never told this awesome group of professionals in this audience is that my widowmaker was also at 30% as of the day of my heart attack. And so that sits with me just in the background, and it makes me ponder, is it progressing, or is it, possibly being cleaned out with the changes that I've made in my lifestyle? Uh, so I guess, have I taken enough beetroot? Have I eaten enough holistic foods and natural foods to keep my heart healthy and safe and my arteries clean, or are they being cleaned out or flushed? I guess time will tell, and I will be honest with my doctor about how I'm feeling about those medications that I take. Let's talk about cost a little bit. Cost is really not a concern for me, and I'm lucky and I'm fortunate. Teacher drug plans are second to none, and in my opinion, I've most likely consumed tens of thousands of dollars of prescription drugs at little or no cost. I do believe this is a huge financial burden and a psychological deterrent, though, for some people who may not have coverage such as I do, or little coverage. So I do empathize and sympathize with those people, and it could be a huge deterrent to taking medications. I exercise quite regularly. This is something that I want to comment on, depending on how busy my work is. I strength train and ride a stationary bike. I hit a heavy bag if I'm not too sore with my shoulder. I feel this will keep me motivated to take my medications and my medicines, and hopefully I'll see those physical gains in stamina, heart health, and general overall well-being. So that's a big part of my life as well. So is CV medication adherence an undermanaged problem? I know there was a slide when I was going through the presentation. In my own experience, very little, but that's just my own personal experience. Basically, the slide that refers to I don't want to take my medications, for whatever reason, boils down to a couple of things in my opinion. And again, just my opinion. What motivates patients to succeed? That's the first one. And why do I want to succeed? And I know that we all have to figure that out as adults. And so what motivates the patients to succeed? And then I guess the second piece is, what are the patient's core beliefs about the actual medicines? It may make them not feel so great at times. However, pros and cons. So if a patient can rationalize what the medicines are doing to benefit them and weigh those pros and cons, do the pros outweigh the cons? That might be a clear path to adherence. It would be obvious, in my opinion. Patients doing their own research. I think whether this professional community believes that's a dangerous thing or an avenue that maybe shouldn't be explored, it might help patients make more informed decisions and possibly might help the situation if research is conducted, if patients go out and research their own avenues. And I know the internet can be a dangerous thing. I completely concur and acknowledge that. Moving on to the placebo and nocebo effect, several slides in the presentation about that. I've not taken the opportunity, to be honest with you. I mean, and I just finished saying that, I do want to try something with my statin and do some natural remedies if possible. But overall, I don't believe that I've taken the opportunity to alter, adjust, or deeply question or resent the medications that I'm taking. I try to be mentally strong, that I'm taking these for my family and my longevity. And I do want to share that this is my reason and my why. This should be a great indicator. This is a very recent picture. That's my reason and my why, and something that I'm very passionate about. And here's a picture of when the boys were a little smaller, a little younger. So again, it should be no surprise, and it should be clear for me that that's my why, and why I want to be here, and I want to take my medications and live a long, great life. But for me, my life situation has changed somewhat. After I'm off of blood thinners, I might feel better in a different way, or maybe not, but I'll report the facts on how I'm feeling with my doctor. I willfully disclosed to you earlier that I do want to attempt to get away from my statin, and through more holistic eating and herbal medicine. And I know that some of you may be, shuddering at these words and shaking your head and saying, "Joss, don't mess with it." And I do want to promise I will be mindful and collaborative with all my caregivers and the team of people that are supporting me. But I do feel the effects of the drug and the aches and exhaustion with the cholesterol pill possibly have quite affected my well-being. The bottom line, I want to be around when my boys are at the prime of their life. They want to maybe take their dad for a game of catch or to a football game, or be around me when I'm older, and that's certainly what every father I hope wants. I want to see them graduate, find happiness in their adult life, and I just want to be there and be involved in their lives. So that again is my why. And so I think that's where it really comes into play for everybody in this conference. And I want to compliment you and I want to thank you. And here is more my conclusion. Adherence, trust, relationships, and seeking advice from multiple sources, as I stated, I think are necessary. But this is where everyone in this conference comes into play. Their professionalism, their support, their kind, nurturing, knowledgeable path for their patients. You have that power. With all due respect, please be nosy. Please be concerned. Be assertive. Be genuine. Please motivate your patients to find their why, and that may help with adherence and a clear path to living a statistically longer life. If pharmacists, general practitioners, and experts in the field, all those in attendance today, don't speak passionately about the quality of life that can be obtained and impacted, I think people like me are doomed to pass away not having the life expectancy that we thought we were destined for. Ask your patients hard questions. Give them the hard literature. Give them accurate and current peer-reviewed studies if you feel comfortable, that clearly outlines what it takes to live a prolonged, comfortable, and statistically long life. Let's try to keep each other mentally healthy. A priority, definitely mental health. I see it in my workplace every day in the children and the adults. And also physiological health. We need to keep thriving. In closing, I just want to thank you for listening to this recording. I look forward to answering your questions in the live session if you have any. And again, I am honored to be with you via technology. And again, these are just my experiences and my opinion. I meant not to disrespect anyone in the crowd. You are the professionals looking after us and keeping us alive, in my opinion. So thank you. I respect you, and I've been as sincere as I can, and I hope you felt that way during this presentation. Take care, and we'll possibly talk to you later. Bye-bye.